Hello and welcome to my channel, Dreamcrafter Creations. My name is Debbie, aka Nana, and I'm coming to you from outside the Boston area in my craft room. So what I was very inspired by when I went shopping in the mall, the Natick Mall in Massachusetts, was a shop. I believe it's called Miss Lou, Liu, Handmade. Now, this is what I bought. I was so inspired by this. I just all crochet. I have bought different books and seen different flower crochet over the years. I made a bookmark that's a flower. I made a baby Afghan that was in flowers. But I never was able, or I didn't take the time to make something like this. And I just thought this was going to be the perfect spring decoration for my house. And normally, a lot of times, I will not buy, I'll get this out of my face. I will not buy something that I think I can make, because I want the joy of making it, because I love the process. But I said to myself, you got a lot of projects going on right now. You're never going to get it done for this year. But I also thought these would be beautiful, beautiful gifts, Mother's Day gifts. Mom, if you're watching this and I can ever make you something like this, I will, because I know you'll appreciate it. But in the meantime, I bought this for myself because it's actually my birthday month, and I've been doing a lot of buying this month for my crafts, and that's how I'm justifying it. I'm justifying that this is my birthday month. Whenever I buy something, I bought this. And this was the first thing I bought. I'm going to just keep showing it to you. Look how beautiful this is. Look. I just love it. Love it. Anyways, this sits on a table in my kitchen, which is kind of like, excuse me, I have a tickle in my nose. I have like a solo table in the middle of my kitchen where I usually put some type of flower vase, and I put this there. And it was funny, the kids were over the other day, and I watched them. They just like looked at it. They were mesmerized. No one asked to hold it or anything, but they were definitely taking note of it. I mean, who wouldn't? I'm still just in awe of the work that must be involved in this. So one of my other purchases, I went online and immediately Etsy tried to find some patterns to make the flowers. And I did find this woman, Lily, Lilyslyric, on Etsy, that had some patterns. And she actually sells yarn too, because of course I always like to make sure I'm using the yarn that the pattern calls for, because a lot of times in, garments, anything I've done, sometimes I've used another type of yarn, like something I've had in my stash, and, I'm not always 100% happy with it afterwards. But so that was another gift I bought myself, and that should be coming soon. And hopefully maybe I can make a few flowers out of that. I'm sure they're not going to be easy, but I'll let you know how that process goes. And talking about, crocheting flowers, I started looking through some of my books, because within the last couple of years, I wanted to do these things. I knew about them. And through Instagram, I would see different things come across. And one of the things was, where is it? Excuse me. This book, Crochet Collage Garden. which I purchased. And this isn't too old. Not sure exactly what year it is. It's by Chris Norrington. She goes by Chris Made This on Instagram. And another person who inspired me. And her flowers, though, are more like an applique. They're flat. And I wanted to... She uses them, I think, you could put them on jean jackets, pillows, wreaths, anything. Make pins. Talking about pins, hold on. So when I purchased this, Mrs. Lou was nice enough to let me pick out a free pin. I should have put it on today, but I didn't even take it out of the package yet. I actually want to wear it on my jean jacket. And I wasn't about to wear a jean jacket in here. So I got that pin too. I was very excited about that. And so this is something that, she does with the flat flowers. It's just beautiful. I was thinking, you could do these on pillows. The reason I call this channel Dream Crafted Creations is because I just get so inspired by other people, other people's patterns and art, and I want to do it. And so I buy the book. Okay, how can it hurt for me to buy the book and have a library? I don't have to get to it right this second, but this is something, this is one of them that I would like to get to someday and maybe make some pillows. So she has all these different flowers. This is a Spring Awakening, it's called. Just look how beautiful. So I was very inspired when I saw Mrs. Lou's flowers. I went into my library and I pulled out some books. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to start working on the flowers. I love this one too, Cottage Garden. I don't know. I think, at night when I'm not working on the huge garment projects like I am now, and, Afghans, I think it might be fun to just sit and crochet little flowers and then figure out what I'm going to do with them. So that was one book I found and that I had purchased in the past. And the other one I found with the flowers that I purchased, because like I said, this has always been on my mind. It's called 100 Flowers to Knit and Crochet. And I mean, these aren't old books that I got. So I think now's the time. So some of these are a little bit more three-dimensional. But in her book, and this is who, I didn't even tell you, Leslie Stanfield. But in her book, and I'm pretty sure I get everything on Amazon, she gives you a little bit of idea. And I thought this was really cute for like a baby cardigan. She did the buttons and just appliqued on. She has them on her sneakers. She has them on scarves. So I think there's a lot you can do with, individual flowers. Another thing I did do, and let me just get it for you. I found this pattern, a little while ago. I don't even know if I still have it, but if I do, I'll link it below. But it was to make these little purses. And, I think she might have had, like, I don't know if it was a crocheted flower. This is actually, I think this is a knit flower. But I found it, somewhere online, and I decorated it with this little knit flower. And let's see what's in here. I did try to make some little, this is a flower that I did on a baby Afghan for my daughter-in-law. And if I can find the picture of that, I'm going to put it up here someplace for you to look at. I was really proud of that. And it also was with one of Mary Jane Tea Room's candy bears I made. And that's in along with a crocheted vase is in the picture. So I will put that up there for you to see. But so I just put a few flowers in here that I was, fooling around doing. Just little stuff I found on the internet to do, not from these books. Oh, this one was made with almost like thread. I just practice, and there's a lot of straight yarn in here. I don't know what else is in here. Oh, here's another little flower. Oh, little flower. What else did I do? Oh, another little flower. So these I just made randomly for no reason. Here's like another, I have a couple of leaves right here. So I want to get back into making these flowers again. Another one with the thread. Oh my God, what was I thinking? But I made these little purses, lined them. They with fabric. I believe the pattern shows you how to line it, but I'd like to make some more of these. These were just so cute. And I do have another one I made that I use all the time. So it's a little ratty looking. It doesn't have a crocheted flower. I put a little, I don't know. I had this in my stash somewhere. I did a lot of jewelry making at some point in the day and found that. And I use this for my knitting. I keep my tapestry needles in here. I have some of these clips. I have stitch markers. Just little stuff that I need to have in my knitting bag. So I made these too, but I didn't make them recently, but I do want to make more. I have a bunch of these clamps, purse clasps, I believe they're called. But so in any event, you can put the flowers on little purses like that. I've seen, bigger purses, which I have patterns for. And, I've made even just out of jean material, whatever material, and you could applique on that. I do think the pillows would look great. And talking about crochet, I do have a pattern. Hold on. I do have a pattern from Not a Crawl by Mallory Crawl, Astrid Pillow Pattern. And that's what this is right here. I like to do, they're not, they are a little bit of a flower. Do you see that? So I have all the yarn for this. I was just crochet inspired this week in these colors. I thought they're pretty, kind of springy, but they do match my dining room. So I think that pillow, once I make it, will go in my dining room. How pretty. These are from Sorella yarn, nylon sock, 80/20%. I can't even read that. Some type of wool nylon, each mini skein 80 yards. And that's with a cream background what I'll be making that pillow with. And the reason I'm bringing up a pillow is because I do like to knit or crochet items for the home. Not just garments. I just got back into my garment making over the last year. I had stopped making garments, knitting, for a long time because I would knit them and they wouldn't fit right, or I just wasn't happy with the outcome at the end. So I was doing a lot more, blankets, baby clothes, just smaller items. Working on these little flowers, just figuring out what I want to make. And I got back into the garment making, but it does seem to take, a real long time for me to make a sweater. I would say 8 to 10 weeks working on it very steadily. And so it takes away a lot of time of doing the smaller projects, which I like to do too. So anyways, the pillow, I don't think would take that long to do. But so I have that pillow, and I was very inspired by this book. So I went into all my crochet books. This book that I heard about this book through Elise Rose Crochet. I've been watching her for a long time because she did a lot of the little cotton rabbits and Mary Jane's Tea Room toys, which I'm all about. I love that. There's a basket of them at the beginning of my video, and I do plan on making more of those in the future for the kids. But she had talked about this book, Vintage Style Crochet Projects. I can't even get this name, but I believe it's Agnieszka Strykarska. But it has 32 projects in it, and I'm just going to show you the front cover because it, again, is flower crochet inspired, and it's just beautiful. Here it is. If this is something you're interested in, I'll link it below. You can look it up yourself. But just so you know, she does some trims. She has some blankets in here, pillows, baby dresses. What else? Oh, so this is what I wanted to show you, which is comparable to these. And look, it's like this, but it's in crochet, okay? And has the lining the same way. And I thought I would try to make some of those because I do have the clasps. And it's just a beautiful book if you're interested in some vintage style crochet. She does pot holders and, like I said, a lot of blankets and pillows. Really nice book. So that I started reading again once I was crochet inspired with flowers. And another book I got was the Granny Square Source book. And the reason I got this, I believe it was Elise Crochet again, Rose Crochet. She was making this beautiful, I don't know if she was doing a pillow or a blanket, I'm not quite sure, but Therese Eghult, she's from Sweden. She calls herself Tess. I believe she's sisters in stitch with another woman. But anyways, I got this book. I saw it advertised, and I thought how beautiful. It has 100 contemporary motif to mix and match granny squares. And I believe if you go to Sisters in Stitch, you could find how many patterns in here are hers. I quickly tried to, count them all, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's like 5 or 6, this book. And it has all different types of granny squares that you can mix and match, and a lot of them are floral. So just by looking at the cover of the book, I think you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. And I haven't done anything from this book yet, but, hopefully I will get to that one day in the future. And another floral crochet, this book is called Mindful Crochet, right here. And it has the mandala, and I did a lot of making of dream catchers a few years back, and I did crochet a few, and I got this book because of that. I thought I would like to make, see what patterns she had for the, her name is Emma Leaf, for the dream catchers. But when I got the book, I was very inspired. It had a lot of other things in it that I was interested in, and one of them is it's Neon Sunburst Color Pop Bag. Not necessarily in these colors was I interested in. I mean, I do love the colors. I think they're beautiful, but I wanted, and you can see back here, I'll show you, I wanted to someday make one of these bags, and I think this was beautiful. And she talks about her mindfulness, about, how crochet, helps you relax and all that. And, it's a very nice book, Mindful Crochet. So I did make this, I think it was last year, I believe I made this. And it's called the Magnolia Tote. I'm not sure of the designer's name, I forgot, but I will link it below. I love how this came out. I use it as a project bag. It's not flowers, but it's, it's crochet, and that's what we're talking about. And I figured out how to, I think I modified the strap a little bit because I think I did. But what I did was I put a ribbon on the inside of the strap, and then I lined it because I wanted it to, stay sturdy. And I actually just keep a lot of knitting stuff in here. I don't use it really as a pocketbook with my wallet. I use it more for like a knitting bag. And I like how that came out. And one of the reasons I showed you the bag was because I did purchase these on Amazon. And I think these are the exact type of bag that would work to make some type of granny square crochet bag. This tote. Let me see. Right? I think I could just do a bunch of granny squares. I was thinking of taking them from the book, 100 different granny squares, picking a few that I like. And I was thinking I would just cover this bag and make a granny square bag. Or put some applique on it with the flowers. I'm not quite sure, but I'm gonna. It's another to do. It's another one of my bucket list knitting crochet projects. So another floral crochet that has inspired me is my grandmother, who is not with us anymore, Honey. She would make Afghans for everybody. She made one for my husband when we were just dating. She just would make them for everybody. I think my sister, hi Kathy, if you're watching, she has the majority of the Afghans. This is the only one I have been able to salvage, and it was given to me as a wedding gift from my grandmother, but this has a lot of the floral inspiration, and it reminds me of the squares that I showed you on the Granny Square source book. So here is one of the, well, they're all like this. And actually, this isn't poking through. So you got to understand, this is a vintage Afghan. I've had this for a long time. And, back in the day, they didn't have the same, the quality of yarns that we have nowadays. So I feel like it didn't preserve the way I would have liked it to. But I still have it. And I think she was the one who has inspired me over the years for my knitting and crocheting. My mom does a lot of knitting and crocheting, mostly crocheting now. She likes to do the crochet around and round and round, and doesn't like to read patterns. I love patterns. I like intricate patterns. And, but yes, I think they're my inspiration. My mom always liked to sew. I like to sew. And so that's all for the floral crochet that I wanted to talk about. The other crochet is a WIP that I showed you before, but it is a blanket. I call it an Afghan, and I am on, what am I on? Oh, we got to go down here. So I haven't gotten that far since I showed you, but of course I've had a million things going on, but we have January, February, March, and April. So I'm 4 months in. Hopefully I'll move a little quicker on this. I really think it's coming out nicely. Another crochet along with Mallory Crawl, not a crawl, same person as the pillow I just discussed with you. And that will get finished this year in time to have for like the fall or winter season. So another crochet I'm working on is, oh, I'm not going to show this to you yet. What I'm going to do is skip around. Let's move this. And sorry if I seem to be all over the road sometimes. I don't really script these videos. I think about what I'm going to talk about, and however it comes out is how it comes out. And hopefully it comes out good enough for you to keep watching. But two finished objects I have, and I'm really happy about them. They're very spring to me. Are a vase for some plastic plants I have from IKEA, and a spring doll. Let's see. Where is she? Can you see her? And you see the basket? All right, I'm going to pick her up. I'm not happy about the lighting here, but here she is. Oh my God, I had so much fun making this little doll. She's a Happy Lab toy pattern. I've showed these I think on my first video, and I just love to make dolls, and I like to machine embroidery, and her patterns are very inspiring. You buy the doll pattern with the clothes. You can't buy the clothes separately. So I had the doll pattern, but I liked this dress. It has an underskirt, so it has an underskirt and a blouse. They're separate from each other. And I loved the dress, so I wanted to try this because the other dresses I've had didn't have the blouse. And then I did her little shoes again. I just painted them on. And this embroidery pattern was inspired by a doll that she made and sold. She sells her patterns, and she sells dolls that she makes, but I don't believe she sells the patterns of the dolls that she actually sells. I think they're a little different. But she's on Instagram. I just love watching her make her dolls. So she inspired me to use the Peter Rabbit. What did they call it? I found it on Etsy. It's called Embroidery Design Mel, the Tale of Peter Rabbit, I believe it's called. And it came in different sizes. And I ended up using this, I believe, is the 4-inch. And then I took the Romantic Wildflower Bloom in Embroidery is the designer on Etsy. And I was able to mirror it on both sides. And this is how it came out. Now, I love this. But I think if I was to do this again, I would make the doll's legs a little longer, or I have to adjust the embroidery machine pattern because I think it's just a little too long. Because when you sit her down, her shoes do come out. Her shoes do come out. What am I talking about? But I might make her legs a little longer, or make the dress a little shorter, and I can do a smaller embroidery design. But I made the little blouse. The patterns I find are written very easily. It was my own mistake when I was turning from the wrong side out. I realized one of the sleeves I had done the wrong way, and I had to just redo the cuff so that it would match. And what else? Besides that, everything on these patterns I find to be very, sewer friendly. And then I did a little, I don't know if you can see it, her headband. That's a velvet ribbon. The eyes are hand embroidered. the little mouth, and then you put a little blush on their face. But I'm really happy how she came out. This is her hair in the back, and then her underskirt kind of peekaboos through. And what I did was I put some lace on her body to resemble kind of like bloomers, and her socks I put a little lace on. And the idea of these dolls that I'm making is that I have the stash, I have the yarn, I have the material from over the years. So I'm trying to use what I have to make these dolls. They're not really a doll to play with. They're more of a sit on the shelf and be a decoration. And they actually don't sit by themselves. You do have to prop them up against something to sit. And the other thing about her that I got to work on is her arms. This one, her arms are really popping out, and I think they need to be stuffed a little less so that they hang down a little bit. I mean, if I didn't have all this embroidery in here, because I don't want to cover it up, I was thinking I could have had her holding a basket, but I don't even know if that would work. But I still can knit a little basket for her. I have patterns for that. I'm not sure who's the designer on that, but if I do have a knit basket, but at another time I'll show it and tell you the designer. But she would look cute with a little knit basket with flowers in it too. Maybe I'll do that. But so propping her up there with all my flowers. The other finished object I did was these. So they come like this. I'm not going to take it off, but I believe it was IKEA. You can buy these. I got these a couple of years ago, and I put them in my bookshelves to decorate at different times of the year. And I like to cover them with these crocheted pot holders. And I had them all covered. I don't know what happened. I think I had winter ones, and I packed them away when I put away my Christmas decorations. So these were all, none of these had covers, so I decided to make the covers. And her name is Made Simply by Erin, I believe. I might have gotten that wrong, but I will link her where to get her patterns. And this is a finished object as well. And I'm working on this one here. So this is a WIP, but I'm working on that one. And that's about it as far as what I did this week. Just got inspired by spring. And the last thing I'm going to show you is my mystery make-along sweater. The mystery is solved. Here it is. It's on the mannequin. Let's see. This light is horrible. It really is. But this is my mystery knit along by Zanette. Now, it is not blocked yet. And I have maybe a quarter of the sleeve left to do and a whole nother sleeve. But this is, in my mannequin is like really having a hard time standing up. The yarn is Spin Cycle Fluorite, and this is the main color was Living in the Long Grass Pink Haze, I believe. And this is a top down, but an afterthought, I would call that afterthought ribbon collar, because you start here and we came down. And at first I was not quite sure, because I felt like you couldn't see the pattern in mine as well as you could see others. So she had us in this group. It was called School, SKOOL, and people would show their you know, show their work and in their the colors of the yarns and the process, whatever step we were at. We had a 7 weeks with 7 clues, so you had a week to do each clue. And you know, I knit a lot to get this done. My husband would say, "What are you knitting 16 hours a day?" But I just was determined to get it done and power through it. But and I was pretty much there till the last week. And where were we at the last week? I hadn't finished. You were supposed to be all the way down to here and then put the collar on. And I think I was here. So I was behind a week and I had to catch up and do the bottom to the ribbing and then do the collar. And then I caught up and I'm doing the sleeves, but it was done a week or two ago, the whole mystery knit along. And I'm still plugging along. I'm gonna get it, and I'm going to bring it to knit night tonight because I'm on the sleeve and it's pretty easy. And during a knit night, when you're chatting and stuff, you want to bring something that isn't too complicated. So I am on the sleeve, which right now isn't too complicated. But when I block it, I will wear it and I will show you. And yeah, I love it. I think it's like a work of art. And once I block it, I think you'll like it even, better. But like I said, so here's your mosaic. This is your color stranded. It's, everyone oohs and ahs about it. But I think it's, it wasn't hard. The color work wasn't hard, but the transformation of the Spin Cycles yarn, really makes it like a work of art. A lot of color going on. I wasn't sure about this yarn because when you do the color work, it makes the fabric much thicker. And then this yarn seems to be a lot lighter. So I'm really hoping that the blocking, corrects this for me. But when I'm totally done, yeah, you'll see that again. And I think that's it. The only other thing I was going to talk about is my machine embroidery. I kind of wasn't really doing a lot of machine embroidery because I would be doing my knitting, or I have to come down into my craft room to actually be on my embroidery machine, and sometimes I don't have any time till nighttime, and it's easier for me to sit and knit and crochet than to come down into the basement and do embroidery. But after doing these dolls, I kind of got the bug again, and I think I'm going to take these jean jackets that I got the kids. They're just from Ruffled Butts, and they're just like really cute little jackets. And I thought about, my daughter likes the wildflowers, and I was going to put the wildflowers here and in these different sections, and maybe something up here. I thought they'd be really cute for the spring. That's what the plan is. But another thing about machine embroidery is it's another learning process thing, because those patterns, this pattern that I used, a lot of it's a lot wider than those areas on the jean jackets, and the jean jackets have those thick seams, so you don't want to embroider on that because you're going to be breaking your needle all the time. So I have to YouTube and figure out, because I have done it in the past, but if you're not doing something every day, you forget. And I've got to figure out how I can narrow up the design to fit in those areas. So that might take some time, but I got to get learning that. So that's what I have for you guys today. I haven't named her yet, so if anyone, I'd like in the comments for you guys to leave me maybe some names we could name her. What do you think would be good for a spring name for my little girl here? I just love her. I'm going to try to make one a month for my collection, and that's it. Look at her. So leave me a comment of what a good name would be for her, and next video I'll tell you what I picked. So for now, happy spring, happy crocheting, knitting, stitching, embroidery. I hope you make time to do some crafting for yourself, and see you next time. And if you stayed on for this long, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, and I have one more thing. I have Miss Lou's a video of her store, which I just was mesmerized at. You'll see, it looks like a flower market of all these crocheted flowers. So pretty. So if you want to see it, stay on till the end, and then subscribe or like, and I'll be very thankful. Bye.